Since 2025, lawmakers have been talking about banning corn. I'm going to teach you how to protect yourselves and prevent your content from getting taken down. First, corn itself is not considered constitutionally protected by the First Amendment, but obscene art is considered to be protected. What's the difference? Well, the difference is the meaning behind it. The meaning or the thought behind your work is what makes the difference between corn and art. I'll give you a famous example. Pussy Riot. Even though they're from Russia, this concept would apply in the US. Pussy Riot was an anti-establishment, all-girl punk rock band in Russia. They created many different pieces of work that would be considered offensive or extreme. One of those examples that would inevitably end up leading to their arrest was when they filmed a pornography video inside of a church. And this ended up leading to their arrest, and they were arrested for 2-3 years and put away for 2-3 years because of it. Now, they were doing this as part of an anti-establishment message, as part of shock value, for entertainment, for all sorts of reasons. So this would have been constitutionally protected under US law, but because they were in Russia, they were charged with anti-obscenity laws. This is why I've always liked to use components of history, culture, art, music, entertainment, education, biology, medicine, anatomy, and I incorporate all those into my videos. Why? Because when you do that, all of your videos suddenly become constitutionally protected. For example, I've had videos where I featured myself as a post-World War II 1940s geisha. I've done multiple videos for Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year, and also for Ramadan. I have multiple videos where I'm giving anatomy lessons and general sex education lessons. You actually learn quite a bit about female sexuality and the female sex organs. Not only that, but I have a very diverse range of people in my videos. I've had a disabled guy who was in a wheelchair because he had Wilson's disease, and it was estimated that he was going to be deceased by the age of 40. That's what his doctor said. I've also featured a Hmong person in my videos. I've featured people from all over the world, people from Jamaica, UK, Australia, India, South Korea, literally everywhere, Nigeria. So I wouldn't even really say that I make corn. What I do is I actually make documentary films. I create documentary films that feature real people, and you get to follow real people on their real stories. Every single time I featured a virgin on my show, he was a real, legit virgin, and I have the receipts to prove it too. I feel like I'm making documentary films, because here's the thing, I don't actually feature actors or actresses most of the time. Most of the time, they are not pro actors or actresses. They are actually just regular, ordinary, everyday people with ordinary jobs. I've had doctors in my videos, I've had software engineers in my videos, I've had nurses, teachers, like ballerinas, like fucking all different types of people in videos, like military. I had a military special for 4th of July, 4 or 5 Marines in my videos. See, I remember when I first started, I literally went into this thinking, I'm not just here to make adult content. I want to be a visionary. I want to start a movement. I want to change the direction of the industry and revolutionize it. Why? Because I'm featuring something that you don't frequently see in many ordinary mainstream films. For starters, I have a real orgasm in each and every single one of my videos. Every now and then I can't get there, but if that happens, I can't get there. I don't fake it, I just can't get there. I incorporate education in my videos, anatomy in my videos. You learn many different kinds of tutorials in my videos. Not only that, I incorporate culture, national identity, history, many different things in my videos actually. So remember this, if you want your videos to be protected by the First Amendment, you've got to incorporate at least some of these topics or some of these themes in your videos. Why is this important? Because if your voice should ever get suppressed, now you will be protected. So if anybody tries to censor me, you better believe I'm gonna be the first to file a federal lawsuit against that. Believe it!